Good evening, everybody. It is July 18, 2026, and I'll wait for you guys to receive the notifications and come on into the chat. I see that there are two people, one thumbs up already. Those are probably the people in the background. Welcome, welcome. It's another Saturday night, and it's July 18. Hi, Land Shark. Welcome. Yes, you are the first one. Hi, Lorna. Welcome. It is a muggy, soggy, wet day here. But it really only rains over my property. So I'm sure if my car worked and I drove into town, it would not have rained there. Hi, Fred. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hi, LJ. Welcome. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. It's another Saturday night. We have a gorgeous crescent moon outside. It is beautiful. Gorgeous crescent moon. The moon is in the sign of Virgo. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you guys come in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Mark. Welcome. Hi. So we're gonna play my little theme song. Oh no, what? We're gonna play my little theme song.
You really thought I'd run. Watch me. 30 years in my pen, Jersey girl with perfect plans. Garden raising my daughter, healing cats.
Let's see. Hi, 5-7. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Julius. It's another Saturday night, July 18. And we're going into my birthday week. Yeah, I'm going to be another year older. I'm sure the criminals have a nice surprise for me. They usually do it on July 20th. Like last year on July 20th, I think it was during the live stream. They had the explosion, right? The explosion in the background. I Get a Life. That's a good one. Get a Life. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to see if I have any good links to post in the chat that I received this week. 1 second. Yes, here's 1 second here. I'm going to end up reading some of this on the channel, but I'll post the link in case you're interested. It's about CIA mind control and remote viewing. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's been raining on and off here today. Very soggy, very moist, very humid. But I'm not complaining because, you know, I've seen the weather across the United States and it's not very good in like Texas. And then in north of here, like in New York, they're complaining about all the smoke from Canada. Hi, Amy. Welcome. So this week I received email from people that they're being harassed at Walmart People are being harassed at Walmart.
Kentucky clay on my boots, tile deed.
And then I'm on the mailing list for Gecko Pico for anybody that has like Lyme or Morgellons. He had this interesting natural treatment. And let's see, I received a URL for Dr. Cindy Trim's prayer to dismantle monitoring spirits and spells. I'll post that link here for you guys. I order from Walmart.com online. So I actually don't go into the store. Hi, TMG. Welcome. But it doesn't matter because even if you don't go into the store when your package is delivered, sometimes it's tampered with. So they'll get the post office involved or a Walmart employee, UPS, Federal Express. Yeah, I believe that. Walmart is bad. I had one underwear taken out from a hole in the plastic on delivery about 2 months ago. That's so interesting that you say that because I've had deliveries where they have made a hole in the delivery and pulled something out, whether it's food. Yes, some things are open, damaged. It just amazes me that people have the audacity to do such a thing. They don't think twice about it. Oh, you lost your internet earlier. Yeah, that's a recurring that's a recurring thing here. But it's somewhat predictable. Like if I go to shower, like as soon as I get into the bathtub or as soon as I get into the shower, internet disconnects. So whatever I was going to listen to, I can't listen to. It just baffles the mind how these delivery people are coerced and go along to do that when it's part of their job to not do that, to deliver your packages to unharmed. Hi, TG Wen, welcome. You were set up at Walmart by security. It's like it's a game for these people. It just reminds me of junior high school. Oh, they tried to slip an unpaid item in your cart, and you would never steal from a store, of course. It just amazes me, just amazing. And the fact is that somebody's paid to think of these tactics. Somebody's paid to think this way. Although, since half of them are psychopaths, sociopaths, it doesn't take much for them to think this way. Anyway, it's the way they operate on a regular basis. Amazon delivery, there was a hole in the package around June 20th. And glue was put on the shorts. Oh, that's not cool. That is definitely not cool. Fred says they notify Walmart personnel and security prior to your arrival. What a waste of time and money to do that, right? Yes, unfortunately, Amy, that's true. They try to set you up for stupid stuff like that. But the thing is, if they stuck something in your cart and it wasn't something you would normally buy, that would be a telltale sign, right? Fusion centers work with them to do this harassment. Fusion centers need to be banned from life. It all needs to be shut down. What a waste. I mean, we have Palantir now. Why do we need fusion centers? And you would think, like, with all the data centers that are going up everywhere, we still would not need fusion centers. Like, why? Seems like a waste of time and money. It just seems duplicitous to have fusion centers, data centers, and then um, Palantir. Like, why do we need all this stuff? I know I haven't been. The last time, I think the last time I was inside of a Walmart was when I first moved here. I went to buy like a little refrigerator. I have not been in Walmart in a long time. When I was in New Jersey, I would go, maybe once a month because they had like the really, really large cans of cat food that I would give to the outside cats, like 22-ounce cans. And they won't deliver them, like if you order online, they're too heavy. Let's see, when you first realized something was going on was around 2011, 2012. I had a city cop come into Target. As I would walk up to the cashier following where I would go, same one multiple times. That's so interesting you say that because I've mentioned before on the channel that I knew that something was up. I had the same cop, just like you, following me to the bagel store. So the bagel store was a place that I would go to get bagels, and it was like a very small mini strip mall in Manalapan, and I would go there like after I fed the feral cats, and I would go there and get a bagel, and I would see the same police officer. He'd park his car there, and he was always looking in, and which is unusual. Hi, Jerry. Welcome. Very soon. Welcome. Amazon drivers are evil and lose packages on purpose. I had one drive right up to my house, right over my septic system. I called and filed a complaint. Hi, Buck. Welcome. Oh, tailgate. Yes. Another thing they did, well, at least I don't do a lot of driving here. Actually, I don't do any driving, but in New Jersey, I drove a lot more often, and they would do these U-turns. The U-turns, like in front of your car, were the thing. And then they'd have cars following me. There were always two. There was always a car that would drive like right up my butt, and then it would back off. So it was probably like driving up to your butt to try to make you go faster, or maybe get your license plate, make sure that you're the right one. Yes, Brian Cochran is a security specialist whistleblower, said Amazon was part of the program. Yes. Well, we have a targeted subscriber who's not in the chat right now. He wrote an extensive testimony. His name is Lloyd Hamilton, and Lloyd mentions Amazon and its owner. I won't mention his name. Amazon and his owner as part of his targeting. Yeah, those U-turns in New Jersey. But at the time, even though it was happening more frequently, I just figured, oh, you know what? This is just the way New Jersey drivers drive. Like, people would complain about New Jersey drivers because most of them were coming from Staten Island. After 9/11, a lot of the New Yorkers moved to New Jersey. So first they moved to Staten Island and Brooklyn, and then they decided to sell their homes there. They'd made like $1 million, and then would buy a home in Manalapan, which is what my local perp did. The guy who moved in next to me, Steve, the one who was hiding out in the shrubs to jump on my porch. Yeah, they drive up very close. Oh, is that what it is? To hit you with the directed energy weapons? I don't know. It was weird because they would drive up really close, but then there would always be somebody right behind them, that car that's monitoring whatever the first car is doing. And then they would back completely away, like the 3 cars away. So it's like they'd get up close and then they'd back up. Hi, Brenda. Welcome. Yeah, those are some of the tactics. I don't do a lot of driving, but Joe, who's not here, I don't see Joe here yet. But he posts a lot of videos of being targeted on the highway when he's going to work. There'll be people coming off ramps, going up ramps, slowing up, speeding, like automatically lane changes where they didn't need to change a lane and then they change the lane back, zigzagging along the highway. I mean, it's very dangerous because they could set up the wrong person for an accident. Is Federal Express UPS heavily involved? They park in front of the doctor's office if you have an appointment, go inside, deliver a package when we're in the waiting room. The one thing about Federal Express, I can't say so much about UPS because I've got a really nice UPS driver, and I've had some really good Federal Express drivers, but they keep changing them. And they keep changing them because FedEx does not pay them well. Civilian car moves at slow speed, pretending they're patrol cars. All businesses, doesn't matter where, the police can't go in there, so they send the delivery companies. Oh, that's interesting. Why can't the police go in there? Interesting. The most recent tactic is slamming on the brakes suddenly in front of you. Well, that's not good. So you've got to always pay attention on the road because they figure like if they slam the brakes, they don't have to worry about the damage to their vehicle. What they'll do is they'll pull you over and then you'll have an insurance claim. And this is why I guess if you drive often, to always have a car cam, a dash cam. And now I see that there are all kinds of dash cams. They're like 360 dash cams where you'll have one in the front, one in the back, and then one that like they'll take all the sides, like all 360 degrees around you. I mean, if I drove a lot, I would do that. I would definitely do that. Oh no, brake lights sometimes too. Well, that's not good. Oh, okay. So it draws too much attention, like when an officer goes into a facility, so they send a delivery person. Interesting, yeah. You had a deputy tail you at 65 miles per hour. I couldn't tell if he was a law enforcement vehicle. It was so close. It was boxed in on my right side with an 18-wheeler and couldn't get over. Ugh, I don't like those 18-wheelers. I stay away from them. Only top 1/3 of the grill showed. Yeah, I feel for you guys that have to, travel a lot for work and have to deal with these morons on the road. I mean, it's bad enough that I've got froggers on the property. And I'm just going to give a shout out to the person who sent me a handwritten letter from another country. She doesn't want me to talk, about her. But thank you. I just want to let you know that I did receive your letter from the other country. If you're listening. So yeah, they do this. They do the same things everywhere. So when it comes to targeting, there's so many ways that they'll target you. If you have your own business, they'll target your business. They'll contact your clients. Like for me, my nonprofit, they have taken down my website a couple of times. They have harmed my animals, want to make it appear as if I'm not taking care of my pets. They've denied me veterinary service. Denial of services is another thing that they do. Kind of reminds you of like, okay, well, what century are we in? This is 2026. When did they start denying people services? What was that, like in the 1800s? I mean, this is 2026. Let's see, very heavy when you were first targeted. They would come up behind and whiz by super fast, very dangerous speeds. See, that's what I would do, Brenda. That's what I used to do. You would slow down to 5 degrees, five 5 miles per hour. You hit all the green lights. It was crazy. You have everyone speeding to red lights. Oh yes, motorcycle drivers cut off. Yeah, they come out of nowhere and they're fast, and they've got to be careful. I mean, they don't have any protection around them, the motorcyclists. You had a car turn off their lights behind you once and then completely cloak their car. No joke. I couldn't see them at all until you put your flashers on. He was practically on top of me, he said. I absolutely believe that. I've tried to photograph, overhead vehicles, copters, planes, and you could hear them and you could see them. And then when I photograph them, there's no image, there's no photo. And it's like, how do they do that? It's like, I can see you, but they do something that you can't photograph them. There's that song, Targeted Dissidents in Stasi, Germany, now in the United States. Absolutely. Yes, it is mind blowing technology that they can cloak themselves, that they can hide themselves from being photographed. Oh yeah, they don't like getting photographed. Well, they have ID numbers and tags on their vehicles. Let's see, they pull up first in line, not second, not third, at intersections to face you in a long line of traffic. The only way they can do that is by GPS tracking to do it perfectly. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so the vehicular stalking and setups and harassment is really, it can be very dangerous. I mean, I know several targeted females who were set up in auto accidents. Karen Romero, the nurse, she had 3 car accidents in a year, and she ended up in the hospital, and she's no longer with us. When they blink their headlights multiple times, you better slow down and assess the surroundings because they're setting up something sinister. Okay, that's good to know. That's good for everybody to know. So listen up, folks. Again, remember to hit the thumbs up too. I see that there are 18 thumbs up and 36 people listening. It is very dangerous. When they blink their headlights multiple times, you better slow down and assess the surroundings. They're setting up something sinister. It is very dangerous. Yeah, I mean, when you have children in the vehicle also or pets, it's just insane what these people will do. Very dangerous. Oh, you've been rear-ended twice. Well, they also do it to set up for insurance claims. Because remember, like if there's any damage to their vehicle, they don't have to pay for it. It's all covered by their handlers, their whomever they're working for. Yeah, these people are really screwed you over. They set up your address as a Bluetooth mess node. Oh no, that's not good, Jerry. Oh, Amy, you're denied services also. I have to tell you that I was never denied services in New Jersey. I was never denied services in New Jersey. If I needed a plumber, I called a plumber. If I had needed an electrician, veterinarian. So this is all new to me here in Jackson County, Kentucky, to be denied services. It's because the small network of people, the criminal network here, all know each other. And again, I've said it before that my targeting here is substantially different than in New Jersey. Hi, Blossom. Welcome. Hi, Hacksaw. The flock cameras and data TC units in your vehicle are our new digital prison. They will target and enrich themselves off of others' demise. That's really, it's so sinister. But people are waking up to these flock cameras and they're not liking them. And a lot of towns are actually canceling the contracts. The only good thing about flock cameras is the people out there living their best life are realizing the surveillance is put up over all over. Yes. Oh, the blue blocker glasses. Oh, is that right? The blue blocker glasses, you can actually see the separation between the just huge bright headlights and the weaponized lasers. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I don't know if anybody uses those blue blocker glasses while they're driving. That's why I have 500 plus devices on my property wiggle Wi-Fi. I mean, that's a good point, Mark. If there are any kind of weapons mounted on cars or motorcycles, when you're driving, you need to keep your eyes on the road, and it kind of behooves you to be looking around to see if there are devices posted on other vehicles. But your dash cam could catch that. Yeah, that's a good point. That has to do with your level of targeting. I guess it depends on who's targeting you also. Like, we're not all targeted by the same people or for the same reasons. You use cable Ethernet on your devices. These cheapos just love the free ride latch on your Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, and your electricity and your water. You can use the web with your Apple phone. You have a 28, 2684 networks on 1/10 of an acre. Oh my, that's crazy. Amy says they have the craziest stage accident scam going on here. I've been in a complete stop to have them crash a car into me. Unbelievable. So Blossom TI lives in a mountain coastal range of Oregon. In a town surrounding the town, it's like 150 people, yet there are little pockets of different neighborhoods that are cults and covenants. I believe that it's like that here as well. Yeah, if you're distributing flyers, I think that some people are against that, but you can post them. Like, a lot of stores that will have a bulletin board, a community bulletin board. You can post them on the community bulletin boards. Hi, Van Life. Welcome. That's a good point also about using the live stream as a security cam. Blossom says it was a fluke that I found out, and a diesel was coming at me, and you could see that his headlights were mounted, and they were not in the same place all these lasers were coming out of. It's very possible. It's very possible that the Amish communities are compromised by these MK Ultra harassment programs. The thing about the Amish community, though, is that they don't go for the jabs, they don't go for the pharmaceuticals. So they would not have like the graphene or anything like that, like because they don't take external formulations, I'll say, that their bodies will not be bathed with them. Although we're all being sprayed. Like there's so many tactics they utilize. So there's the on the road, the vehicular stalking, the setting up of auto accidents, the harassment. They want to get a reaction from you. They want to see if you're going to retaliate on the highway so they can set you up for a crime. And then, of course, there's the workplace mobbing where you'll have groups of people that are stalking and harassing you, possibly even a manager who's involved that gives you more work than you need to do. Then complaining if you don't finish the work, even though you're the only one at the office who's been given so much work. And of course, if you're doing something in the workplace that is better than somebody else and you don't mind that you have to come in earlier and you don't mind, you don't ask for, the extra level of targeting, surveillance, help from people. Oh, that's interesting, Jerry. The town you're in only has 123 people in Oregon in 2023. Exactly, Blossom. So you realize that when they're radiating you or electrifying you in your own house, that your bill goes up, that we are paying to have them kill us. Exactly. We've discussed this on the channel, I think last year sometime, about that very topic. Well, that's. Amy says, I can't get a lawyer, I can't get a physician, I can't get a landscaper, or repairs getting done easily. Whenever I do get a service, the neighbor is directed to vandalize, to make me blame, and to make me the wrong party. They also use public school buses, especially custodians with the school. They're given the ATIX application system on their cell phone to track you when you walk in the school and the surrounding area. Yes, it's a little pockets of neighborhoods that can't really be seen from the road. They have like 300 or 400 people. Fred says, oh, fake prime mover vans used for targeting. Well, if where you're living is affordable, because moving can be really expensive, especially if you're not moving out of state, it probably pays to just stay where you are. Unless you want to downsize or upsize, if you need a different kind of apartment. Because just because of you're targeted doesn't mean that you don't have other physical needs, living of your living space. Well, exactly. Why would a prime mover van park in the middle of nowhere? Let's see. Buck says, on YouTube, there are people who post horror videos where they record distorted audios of their victims. Oh, that's not cool. That probably should not even be on YouTube. But I would imagine that YouTube doesn't know that, like, it's a video of somebody being tortured or something. Yeah, I think that teachers are involved, or some teachers. It's like these criminals. They have a unique way of knowing who they can get to go along with the program, who they can bribe easily. A lot of the other tactics are, of course, the mail tampering, withholding your mail. You think that it was supposed to be delivered today, but it comes a week late and it's damaged, or it's open, or somebody just steals it, or somebody else signs for your package and never returns it. That's happened to me here a couple of times. John says, I would doubt that they have snuff videos of targeted individuals on the dark web. I have no idea. I mean, it's certainly possible. Yeah, they'll tamper with your mail, your packages, both incoming and outgoing. Like they'll actually go into your mailbox, like if you place a letter there, and they can take it, cause you to receive your credit card invoices late, so that you forget about them, and then don't remember that you were supposed to pay it on a certain date, and that just never arrived. There's a lot of food sabotage. They'll go into your refrigerator, damage your food, knock things over, make it look like you don't clean your refrigerator, but they're messing it up. Ted K warned us that if we didn't know how bad it could get. I would think that Brenda says, to be fair, the teachers are traumatized nonstop also. I would not want to be a school teacher with the types of children in the classrooms these days. With the entitled parents, they're self-medicating. The children are medications that are negatively harming them, having negative side effects. It would be very difficult being a school teacher, having to deal with children at that level. A forethought welcome. Yes, they especially love to target the animals. Oh, they're messing with your phone. So Amy asked a question to van life. How do you avoid targeting on the road? Hi, Joe. Welcome. Yes, never give up the fight. Your power is great. If many must collude to destroy, realize your power. Absolutely. It's one of us. It's one little old you, one little old me against a gang of losers. Imagine how many people it takes to take out one of you. And that says something about you. It also says something negative about them that it takes so many people to harass one. Hi, forethought. You need to take a deep breath. Yeah, you got to take a deep breath. There are days when I literally could scream. I could scream. I could scream. And I do. I call them everything in the book. Exactly. These idiots spend millions of dollars placing strangers into the neighborhood to surround you. That's why you must be so important. Yes, you're significant. You're so interesting. You're a person of interest. But as Karen Stewart had said in one of her flyers, it's not just surveillance. Breaking into your house and harming your pets, like how is that surveillance? Like if they just want to watch what you're doing, why are they doing so much damage? Yes, they want to learn how we think, how we behave, how they can change our behaviors, how they could track us, because then if they can do it with the few of us, they can do it with more people. Yes, it is not surveillance, it's MK Ultra point 2.0 for sure. Absolutely. And there was a subscriber that left a message for me on one of my last videos, and it was held for review by YouTube because it contained a URL. So I did not post it, but I cut and pasted the URL into the search engine and I downloaded the PDF and I was going to read it and I can't find it now. I cleared my browsing history to, just tidy things up, and then I realized, oh goodness, I don't remember now the name of the document that I downloaded and saved. It had to do with CIA and mind control and hypnosis. Yes, being in remote areas is a really bad idea these days. It's not bad if you're with other people, but it's not good these days. I agree. I believe that it is safer to live in a suburb, not necessarily like a city. There's too many people, but the suburbs are a little bit better. There's more of an opportunity to obtain services because there are so many people in in the suburbs who are competing for business. Yeah, I shouldn't own pets because these criminals should be dealt with. Well, as my pets were leaving this world, they kept dumping more animals here and denying veterinary care. So, um, all of these new animals are not spayed and neutered, so they keep procreating, which is against everything that I believe in. At 6 months, I'm accustomed to getting these critters spayed and neutered. I know gang stalking. Go, no gang stalkers welcome. Yes, you hope everybody has a blessed evening. Let's see, van life sucks for the target because the public can walk and drive within a foot of you to harass you, and vehicles are so easy to break into. They also recruit other van lifers to harass you. Amy has a question. So, if this is like an MK Ultra 2.0, do you think that most targets are MK Ultra? I know that I am because they have to leave the hints behind. Hi, Pam. Welcome, Pamela. Welcome, welcome. She lives in an RV, and she says you're absolutely right. You've had drones over you for a couple of years. It's incredible what they spend to watch you. Well, yes, it is. Well, they actually drew the letter M. They carved the letter M in a tree here in Kentucky and in a tree in New Jersey. So yeah, I think it's MK Ultra. And also they were leaving monarch butterfly wings in my backyard in New Jersey. Meaning that like they actually tortured and killed monarch butterflies. Yes, it's about behavioral and mind control. Trauma based mind control and satanic ritual abuse. That's kind of an interesting possibility. A buck says one thing I can think of that will end the program is a large enough solar flare. Unfortunately, though, a solar flare could take out the whole grid, depending on where it is. What portion of the world. I mean, it's certainly a possibility. A solar flare is a possibility. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in, guys. I see like there are 30 thumbs up and 46 people listening, watching. I'm sure some of those 46 people are just perps at my neighbor perps. It gets worse in your little house compared to the motorhome. Interesting. Hi, Russian girl. Let's see, 33% of all societies and communities are gang stalkers. Yeah, I've heard that statistic before that it's a third, a third, a third. Like the third are the ones that'll definitely go along to do it. I know the number 33, but it's a third. And then there are the third of the people in the middle that would go either way. And then there's the other third, which is us. Okay, so a little trailer is great, but the big ones have too many windows. Oh yes, the creepy voice. I don't hear it on my end. The only time I hear creepy is on the replay. So well, we can ignore the creepy voice is a stalker on my channel. My criminal perpetrators have inserted creepy in all of my live streams. Van Life says it's a very really easy to sabotage an RV and make it look like it's an accident. I could see that happening. Satan took a third of the stars in the heavens. I didn't know that. Yeah, they like to sabotage homes with water and mold also, and just vandalize. Do you know where you will go? That's not something that I would discuss. Definitely not on a live stream. I won't discuss that. It won't be Kentucky, but I've had lots of offers to move where some of my friends are. I've had offer to move to Rhode Island, to upstate New York, back to New Jersey, to Pennsylvania, to California, to New Mexico. Um, yeah, years ago, like when I was still in New Jersey, somebody wanted me to move to North Dakota. It's too damn cold there. Mm-mm, not for me. Your ex was a hitman and used to get on the dark web all the time. Yeah, I would be really curious to know what the stalking is like in Russia. I mean, Edward Snowden is there. He's been there for years now, and he's still alive. Like, if he were here in the United States, they would take him out. You keep getting fake bills sent to you by Lisa Bauman. Hi, Two Win Fight. Welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in. I know, isn't that interesting, Van Life? Like you said that the Russians might be the good guys, honestly, Van Life says. Well, we keep blaming them for everything, but I don't see them doing anything to us. Do you? I know. I feel the same way. Not that he's a good guy, uh, 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 regarding Putin. I mean, these are politicians. Like, no politician's like a great guy. But I mean, I don't see him doing anything to us or talking negatively about us. Like our country, all we do is blame everybody else. Oh, we blame China for this. We blame Russia for that. We blame, everything. We blame everybody else for ours. It's like we gaslight the whole world. Let's see, the dragon, Satan, and all its tail drags a third of the stars of heaven and hurl them down to the earth. They absolutely use kids to target you. Oh, yes, they absolutely do. In New Jersey, they would tear branches off my trees or whatever, or ring my doorbell and run away, like something like a 12-year-old would do. Let's see, you live across the street from a school, small town, and boy, they use the kids to target you too. It's horrible, horrifying. Yes, you don't believe anything of what they say about other countries now. I don't either. And there are a lot of YouTube channels of people from other countries that show you literally what it's like in their countries. I don't hear them talking negatively about us. Like everybody wants to come here. Yes, that you're absolutely right. There's always an important distinction between the citizens and their governments. Well, it's like that here too. Yes, we do. We need to group up. I believe that there are a lot of people that are interested in moving to another country to seek asylum there. It's probably safer there. We are turning, like, our country is turning into a police state. And there are actually people who have spoken out about it, like even Whitney Webb is not living in this country anymore. There are a lot of people that have moved out of this country. When you visited Tanzania, the people were so nice, and it was completely different from TV. If a solar flare hits, I believe the gangstalkers would retreat to areas like Mount Shasta where there are cog tunnels. Let's see, the KGB gang stalked for many decades with psychotronic warfare, Havana syndrome. Supposedly, these gangsters are too low vibrational to survive the higher frequencies from a powerful enough solar flare. Well, that's interesting. I'd never consider that. Lorna says the USA is definitely not on my travel plans. Well, you can kind of comb YouTube for people that have moved out of the country or that have set up channels talking about where they live and just, watch the things that they talk about in their countries and stuff. Until I became harassed, I never heard the term gang stalking. I mean, I knew, yeah, Chile. Yeah, she lives in Chile. There are definitely a lot of people that have moved out of the country. If I were younger, I'd probably move out of the country. Let's see, Russia is just as bad. Dr. Lambert was targeted in Russia, lives in the United States now. Oh, that's interesting. Chile has neuro right laws. Well, it's one thing to place the laws on the books, it's another to enforce them. There has to be some kind of a mechanism where if they're violated, that there's immediate action taken. And it's sort of like that, like even during a divorce, there's usually no mechanisms to, gain the support that you've been awarded, granted by the judge, without having to go back over and over and over again into court. I think his targeting did start there. I think that's where he's originally from. Oh, that's so interesting. YouTube just replayed what I said 5 minutes ago. You don't want to be stuck here. People need to do what's right with their conscience. People need to get back into trusting God. Stop gang stalking. Your dogs are going ballistic. There's probably somebody around. Maybe you've got a frogger around you. Buck Ransom says, I don't think banding together is a prerequisite to stopping it. Putting an end to it, I feel, occurs on a case by case basis when we make contact with benevolent agencies that are higher than the local law enforcement. Yeah, I need to find who those agencies are. It's just a very time consuming weeding people out. Is my homestead an official homestead? I don't know what that means. I don't know. Official? How do you make it? You don't make it a legal entity. Most people that have farms and stuff are homesteaded. That has nothing to do with it. So when it comes to whatever rights you have to your land, it's either in the title, it's either been conveyed or not conveyed. It's either been separated or not separated. Love thy neighbor, put God first. I don't know. I don't really need neighbors, honestly. I think people have always said like money is the root of all evil, but it's not money. It's greed. People have become so greedy, so entitled to what other people have, what other people have earned, what other people have created. They want what they can't have on their own. So they want to steal it from other people. That is not cool. Is anyone else feeling more agitated of late, or is it just me? Well, I know that like if I start to feel agitated for no reason at all, I know that it's the technology. Because it's not inherent in my personality or you know, my character to feel agitated. Let's see, some people's god is Mammon. Oh, the demon of money. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's just I just see that our society has become so narcissistic, so entitled, so wanting everything given to them on a plate. I agree, LJ. I don't pray for them at all. At all. Like I know like, a lot of Christian people. It's like, oh, well, pray for your enemies. No, I pray for the demise. I pray that they get what's coming to them. I pray that all the bad things they've done to me come back to them times 10. That's what I pray. And I say it out loud too. Because words have energy. And I put it out there. Whatever these efforts do to me, I want it to go back to them times 10. Praying for peace and self-control, that is another thing. Like I so want like peace in the world, peace around the world. I cannot stand the fact that we are fighting with all these countries, that we send our military over there to get killed. It's wrong. And why? I mean, think about this for a minute. Like, we have a very pernicious prison system. It is so expansive, it's everywhere. We place people in prison for stupid stuff like passing a red light. But meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of quote unquote stalkers committing felony crimes, trespassing, harming pets, killing pets, stealing animals, stabbing, poisoning, infecting, spreading chemicals inside your house, graphene, poisoning your food, trespassing your property, real estate mobbing, damaging your belongings, puncturing holes in things, destroying your electronics. And I'm going to sit around and pray for my neighbors? Yeah, I will pray from here till the day I die that whatever they've done to me comes back to them times 10. And I don't care. I will stand there. I will stand there and watch that happen to them. And I will not bat a friggin' eyelid. I would not bat an eyelid. I will not cry one tear. And I hope whatever they have done to me all these years comes back to them. That includes all the effers in Manalapan, all the feral cat cartel that are killing cat. They've been killing cats for decades anyway. And then all the effers around here, all my stupid ass neighbors, the ones that owe me money for all the stuff that they've stolen from me. The poopy nurse with her poopy diapers. Oh, and including an infant child's diapers. So you talk about karma, bad effing things are going to come to that person that included an infant in my targeting. Yep. And it is pathetic what they do to a 5-pound chihuahua. Do you know that in New Jersey, they suffocated my chinchilla? They cracked the neck of my canary. I posted a photo that my cat Emmy, they gave her nose cancer. My poor cat. She went from being perfectly healthy to having me put to sleep because she could no longer breathe. Yes, I have righteous anger, just like Jesus had with the money changers. And it's not being vindictive or spiteful or revengeful. And it's righteous. It's what the criminal justice system is set up to do, to prosecute criminals and anybody that participates in all of these crimes, including the sheriff, by turning a blind cheek. They should all be prosecuted. They should all be in prison. Just like, and I was going to read it like a while ago, and I've got the complaint on the eBay stalker. Let's see. Pray to God for destroying all the pedophiles and Satanists from this world. Well, that's a whole nother topic we're not going to discuss here. Well, we're not going to discuss that here because we want the live stream to continue and everybody to be able to listen to it. Yes, and they killed your female German Shepherd. Yes. And I know like so many people who've lost their pets to this program. So many, including me. Yes, people do learn from karma. It's a teaching utility. It's sort of like, and I've said this before, like with timeout. If somebody does something bad, you put them in timeout. But anybody who's a parent, when you're raising children, everybody who's a good parent knows that you cannot ignore somebody's bad behavior and say, oh, little Johnny, oh, well, that was so good that you just punched that little boy in the face and ignore it. No, it's not good. You don't teach your children to do things like that, and they need to experience the consequences of their actions. Because unless you experience the consequence of your actions, those bad behaviors will continue. And that's why we've got such out of control people in the society, because you've got parents that teach them, oh, if it's okay, we'll just ignore it. It's okay, because parents are too busy doing other things. And maybe it's been done to them. And that's why you've got these self entitled people. I mean, the news is filled with these self entitled people. Yes, they're harming and abusing children and animals. The Bible says Satan and his demons and gang suckers are going to Gehenna Tartarus. Let's see, they put implants in your arms recently that make you feel like it's ripping your upper arm muscles to shreds. That sounds really painful. You got to do something about that. I don't know. Maybe get some magnets. See if let some strong magnets prevent that from happening. Yes, yes. I'm so glad you're with me on returning to sender a million fold. Yeah, return to sender. And it's like that when I go around my property and pick up all their bitchcraft. That's what I say to them. Every time I have to pick up this bitchcraft, it's coming back to you. Because I don't know you. You don't know me. I moved here knowing nobody. And that's why these people in particular have a heavier karmic debt for what they've done to me than when I lived in New Jersey. Their karmic debt is a way heavier here. Way heavier. Let's see, your left hand is depleted of muscle on your palm. No, you don't pray for people when they punch somebody in the face. You discipline them. And that's why we have laws. There are laws in every state and federal laws against stalking. Stalking is a felony. Harassment is punishable. Oh, the best one is defamation, slander, and libel. Do you know that there are lawyers out there that you can get treble damages for writing false information about people that harms them directly? Absolutely. They don't follow the laws that only protects the elite. Well, we do have, and there are a lot of civil rights lawyers out there, and you probably watch the civil rights lawyer on YouTube. He's got a huge following, but he literally defends cases against these egregious behaviors. Let's see, man's laws have and are consistently failed. It's obvious only God's law is the answer. Of course, I have no trespassing signs on my property. When I first moved here, I actually looked up the law about no trespassing signs, and it says that you should have them like every 6 feet, which is virtually impossible. You cannot put no trespassing signs on a property this big, that many. I'd have to like buy out a no trespassing sign company to place no trespassing signs all over. But guess what happened? I posted a no trespassing sign on my gate across the street, and somebody shot 4 bullet holes through my no trespassing sign. And this is how stupid the people are around here. They're so stupid. Not only did they puncture 4 holes, but they left the shell casings underneath the no trespassing signs to track it back to their weapon. That's how stupid the people are here. That's how dumbass they are. And yes, conspiracy is no joke. Exactly. Conspiracy against rights. There is the Title 18, Section 241 and 242. Conspiracy against rights under the color of law. Exactly. Oh, and I had somebody have the audacity to tell me that posting no trespassing signs here is an insult to people. Really? Oh, it's an insult to post a no trespassing sign? No trespassing means do not enter my property. That's what it means. Do not enter. Let's see, for the signs to be lawful, they need to be every 50 feet. It's like virtually impossible here. And do you have any idea how many of my no trespassing signs have been damaged or pulled down? Pamela says they're not effective here. That's a lie. They come in my property without a search warrant. They absolutely ignore every law. The only way you can catch them is if you catch them in the act. And they make it such because there are so many of them against one person that it's very difficult to catch them in the act. You got one person disconnecting your Wi-Fi, another person, there got two of them that are cloaked so you can't see them. You've got somebody on the county road watching the other person on the county road, just as they did when they had the explosion during my live stream. Well, guess what? We caught the asshole that was sitting behind my house. It looks exactly like my neighbor. It looks exactly like my neighbor. And I made sure to send that photo to Homeland Security to make sure that they know what was going on here on July 20th of last year during my live stream when they shot some kind of grenade from the county road from behind my house and it illuminated my entire property. You got some asshole neighbor sitting behind my house with a red baseball cap. They're so pompous around here. They think they're never going to get caught. They think nothing's going to happen to them. That they can leave such evidence behind. That's right, Joe. Joe says what blows me away is that you can get in trouble for booby trapping your house. And in the event a perpetrator gets injured from your booby traps, well, that's why in New Jersey, I never owned a firearm. You know, in New Jersey, if somebody enters your house, and I don't care about that stupid stand your ground law that they have there, it is, you have not read it. Until you read it, it means absolutely nothing. If somebody enters your home in New Jersey, and you know they're going to kill you, they're going to steal from you, they're going to steal your child or whatever, and you've got a weapon, and you delete that person in your home, guess where you're going to be tomorrow? You're going to be going straight to prison. You're going to be going straight to jail. No ifs, ands, or buts. They find that person in your house. They're going to trace it back to your weapon. It doesn't matter if that person broke into your house. You're the one that's going to go to jail, not the person that broke into your house, even if they're alive. So in New Jersey, it does not pay to own a firearm. Just read the law. Just give out. You have to read it because it's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is in New Jersey. Let's see, since they're capable of handling military weapons, it's about time these people are shipped to the front line in Ukraine and probably Iran. Well, I've said that too before. I've said that too. Like, well, how come we need to be sending our perps to fight the war overseas? Since they know how to use the weapons already, they won't even need any more training. Let's see, Canada is crazy getting fined for hiking. You're getting fined for hiking? Hi, Matson. Welcome, welcome. You going to Greenville to see your sister next month? I was hoping my wife and I could side trip to your place and meet you. That would be cool. Yeah, that would be really cool. Let me know. Send me an email. I actually, Greenville, South Carolina, when I was looking to move, that was one of the places that I circled that I really wanted to move to. I literally liked everything about it, the location, the climate. And then I started reading stuff online that it was such a family oriented place and they did not welcome single people there. And it's like, okay, I crossed that one off my list. Let's see, when you know how much horror the gang stalkers have in store for them, you might actually have compassion for them. It's gross, and I don't want to even mention it. I don't really care. You know, I'm all for Carmageddon. I don't care. I really don't care. Whatever is coming to them comes to them. For what they have done to me here, what they've done to my property, what they've done to my animals, what happened to me in New Jersey, what they did to my house in New Jersey, what they did to my animals in New Jersey, that they effing killed my mother. No, I don't care what happens to these people. In fact, I'd like to see them all hung in a public area. We could all throw darts at them. I could care less. Let's see, private prisons manage to have laws change. Parents can do time if their kids are tardy. What? If their kids are tardy, late more than 3 times? You met a woman doing 11 months because her teen skipped school and she was a nice lady? Let's see, hopefully I'll get a charter job on somebody else's boat, but for actual living, I'm getting a mooring ball. Greenville, Tennessee. Okay. Okay, Tennessee. Okay, so I did not know there was a Greenville, Tennessee, 3 hours west of Nashville. Okay, I thought it was South Carolina. Greenville, South Carolina was a really nice place. I was looking to move to. There might be taxes on boats. Yeah, I think there are actually. We actually have um, one of our once somebody in the targeted community was actually living on a houseboat. I think renting a houseboat. And I think the targeting was a little bit less because you're surrounded by water. Exactly. Fred says no amount of money will make me harass another innocent person. And let's see, 90 to 95% Freemasons are in the police. I mean, I didn't really know that, and I don't even know if that percentage is correct. I really don't know. I mean, it would be nice to know if there's some article about that, if somebody's done some research on that topic. The ones that are not are too afraid to stand up to do anything about it and expose the program. Let's see, they were finding people for hiking in Nova Scotia. Yes, yes, in Canada. No, I'm not an angry person, Amy. Like normally, like I was always like this one of these people that it's like really takes a long time for me to get angry at something. But yeah, these people piss me off big time. And I'm really thrilled to know that what goes around comes around when it comes to these losers. And it will be coming back to them. The thing is I get very impatient. I get very impatient about the Carmageddon. Let's see, we need to get organized. You have wonderful ideas on how to do it. I'm starting training next week, as well as be a grant writer. That is a great that's a really good job of being a grant writer. So you put your email in the chat, anybody interested. No secret society or clubs or fraternities should have any involvement in any police force. That I agree with. I absolutely agree, because they are secrets. And what are the police? The police are allegedly public servants. And if they are a public servant, how could they be part of a secret society and be a public servant at the same time? It seems like a conflict of interest to me. Let's see, if you're in a government agency and know about this ongoing operation, but you choose to keep it silent, you are complicit and you betray your human family, including your children. Well, that's true. And unfortunately, children grow up with these parents that are harming innocent people for profit or whatever self-righteous stuff that uh that they think that they're doing. I'm trying to locate a video to post the link in the chat. My laptop is so slow. What, the creepy voice has a woman now? Oh, that's too funny. The creepy voice has a partner? Maybe Creepy got married. Let's see, you got news on Friday, which I now know I'm alienated from the fake ass family I grew up with, which would be my sold out dad as a boy in a man's body and my Jezebel spirit stepmother. That's horrible. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, creepy voice is whispering. Oh, you don't think Creepy liked us talking about the Freemasons? Oh, well, oh, that's too bad. Let's see, your old boss is in the Elks Lodge and they're part of the Masons. He claims they didn't make him act the part of a lost person found and take the sworn oath of the price of pain for divulging secrets. Oh, Creepy is whispering loudly. Their marriage lasts only months due to fragile hearts. Okay, hi River Bluff, welcome, welcome. River Bluff has a question. Anybody in the chat in Southeast Asia? Southeast Asia? Anybody? Yeah, the garbled person is the creepy voice. The Elks Lodge ladies are mad because they didn't win bingo. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, Singapore. So River Bluff, Fred says Singapore. You're traveling there for 4 months and you want to know what to expect. Oh, okay. River Bluff is traveling there for 4 months and wants to know what to expect. I hear the food is pretty good. that the cost of living is significantly lower. Oh, it's a boring city full of gang stalkers in Singapore. Oh, he's going to the Philippines and Vietnam for a month each. Oh, that's so cool that you're getting to travel around. Yeah, that's. I'm sorry to hear that, Joe. I mean, I know we were talking about that last week. There are people. When I was on TikTok, there were a lot of people. Well, not a lot, like a handful of people that I saw were actually moving to Thailand. They set up their entire channel around showing us how they moved from the U.S. to Thailand and what they were experiencing there. But it's sort of like the honeymoon phase. You're there for a couple of months. Wait until you're there for a year, and then see what happens. She said the people are very nice there. She liked to go up in the mountains. Fred said it's a draconian city. It's fine for petty things. Yes, they study us for years to figure out how to scare or piss us off because they're literally feed on negative emotions to survive. Well, they have succeeded in significantly pissing me off. Every time they kill a cat, every time they harm a cat, I mean, how do you not get pissed off? How do you not get pissed off when you go put on some new clothing and there are holes in them? How do you not get pissed off when they rot or mold food that you bought a day earlier? How do you not get pissed off when you have some loser dropping soiled diapers in front of your mailbox? Or how about leaving a dildo in your mailbox? How about that one? We'll just give you some previews here. Let's see, you've been. The only thing to watch is your stomach. No street food if you can avoid it. She said many young adults had stomach symptoms. Lots of lady boys there too. Oh yes, yeah, I saw a special about those lady boys. Oh my goodness, they look just like women. You've been training your stomach in America by eating the crap chemicals in our food. That's so funny. That's too funny. But see, sometimes we don't really have control over what happens. Well, that's true. Let's see, she came back to the US and it stopped, but almost every day there for everyone she was with. Well, when targeted people move around, it takes a while for these criminals to set up somewhere else, so that in between, like it appears as if a lot of what has happened stops, but it kind of stops temporarily and then it starts up again. It never stopped even when you moved, like in between. I know, like when I moved from New Jersey to here, I remember being in the van, like we had to pull over and slept in this van that I rented. And I remember waking up at night and realizing that I do not have tinnitus. Like totally disappeared. A River Blush says, I'm not expecting it to stop over there. It's just cheaper and I'm trying it out. I heard from other people that the actual stalking lessens because of the language barrier. Okay, so Pamela says, everyone say hi, Angela. I'm pretty sure she's the one that's doing the female voice here on my end. Hi, Angela. I don't know who you are, but if you're doing the voice, you can stop it. Oh, you hear people laughing outside, like the organized stalking took about 3 weeks to start. Exactly, that's what happened here too. There were some things that started up immediately, like the brighting and the noise. That kind of started up immediately, but any kind of tinnitus or whatever, that took a while. Like when I was living in my car, my eyesight reverted back to normal. My hair started growing. I was on a regular sleep schedule. Like everything reverted back to my normal, healthy self when I was living in my car. It was when I moved into this house that everything went downhill. Let's see, anyone in North Dakota currently? I know there's some YouTube creators that are in North Dakota that I'm subscribed to. You've been living in absolute hell the past 2 months with the torture they've been doing to you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that because you're working too. It has to be really difficult when you're going to a job. Let's see, the Thai countryside is the best. It's very beautiful and peaceful. People are targeted in the code. It's also. Well, I absolutely disagree with that, Buck Ransom. Banding together to form little groups leads to wars. I don't believe so. I mean, there's more power in numbers than individually. It just, if the banding together is positive, then that could be positive for all the people that are banding together and can brainstorm. I remember back, I mean, I'm going to say back in high school, it was my poetry, I had a poetry course, and the teacher divided up the class into small groups. And we were supposed to brainstorm and work as a group. And it was kind of really interesting rather than doing everything individually. And I think it would be 4 or 5 people would be in a group. And it'd be a lot of fun. But for targeted people, it would have to be the right people forming the groups that are going to do things that are productive. You know, I've seen a lot of targeted people, they start websites, try to fundraise and bring awareness and stuff like that. And I have to wonder what it is that they're actually doing. Like the banding together for protection for our stuff, for starters, maybe keep safe food and water. I agree with that. And I think, like, even historically, families used to live together. You know, the grandmother, the grandfather, the parents, and the children, everybody lived together in the same house and shared responsibilities. It is not safe for people to live alone anymore. Well, infiltration is always a problem. You know, infiltration is always going to be a problem. But it's like that even in our chats here, you know, in the chats, people in my comments section on videos and stuff. So people have to be of like mind who want to work together for a common cause. And just because everybody's targeted doesn't mean that that's going to work. Because before we were targeted, we were all individual people. We all did something different. So just because we're targeted doesn't mean that we'd all get along together, you know, in the real world. But I do think that there is more power in numbers. It is safer in numbers. If there were like a group of people living together, like on land, for instance, you could have somebody be awake all night long to be on the lookout. You can have somebody home 24/7 so that nobody would be getting into your house. You'd be able to grow your own food and do things and protect your location if you had 4 or 5 or 6 people. It's almost impossible as one person to be everywhere at once. You just can't do it. I'm the perfect example. Like, I have everything here, but I can't protect all this land. And besides the fact that my neighbors, before I moved here, knew my property better than I did when I first moved here because they've been here with the former owner. So I'm sure that wherever I move, it will improve significantly because wherever I move, I won't have a bunch of psychopaths knowing every inch of my property. Let's see, you're not sure about Vietnam, but she says that you'll lose weight. She said everyone's like a stick there. Well, I think it has to do with their diet also. Like their diet, they have a lot of fruit and vegetables. Well, thank you, Brenda. We're going to be signing off in 15 minutes anyway. Oh, yes. Yes, Amy. Oh, and I've got all the evidence. I've got all the videos. And there's more. There's more than that. I have way more than that. He lost weight, just not eating red meat, addicted to ice cream. Well, if that's your worst addiction, that's not a big deal. Yes, they tore off the drain siding. Yes. You sleep with your ID, your phone, your car keys, and a fanny pack around your waist. You still get them if they want them bad enough. I know. I've seen photos of the food in Thailand. Like I want to be there. She said the food is super good in Thailand. Oh, you have mint chip and it makes you happy. Today I was like wishing that I had a chocolate cheesecake. Like there's just some of those days when you just want like something sweet, like a cupcake or a chocolate cake. And I haven't been into town, so I can't. I have no ice cream. Well, I do have a couple of ice pops, but ice pops are not the same as ice cream. Yeah, I eat vegetarian. Yep, it is an easy way to drop 10 to 15 pounds. Yep. Let's see. I don't know about that question, Buck. I have no idea. Well, if you have the GPS coordinates for the person that's harassing you, well, that would be considered evidence, right? Actually, I've watched some videos about how to make ice cream, and you can make ice cream with milk or cream. Like when I was going into town, I would buy a lot of yogurt, freeze the yogurt. Let's see. They stole your ice cream maker out of your garage. Oh, they knew that was important to you. Let's see, I've been to Koh Lanta, which is Thai island in the Andaman Ocean. I had great food choices on the island and fresh fruit, very tasty fruit. On the Wiggle Wi-Fi app, you can see where the Bluetooth devices are on your property. It'll show you on Google Maps. That Wiggle Wi-Fi. I don't have it on my phone. Yeah, we're going to be closing up here in about 10 minutes, shutting down the live stream in about 10 minutes. So, anybody who's leaving, have a good night. Thank you for joining in. So, Matson wants to know what kinds of costs do you project is needed to travel to those places? Well, I'm sure there's the airfare, right? Initially, to go there, I don't know if you're going to be renting like an apartment, temporary, like renting an apartment or hotel. The thing is, like, if you don't own a house, if you don't have to pay rent like here in the United States, if you're not tied down to paying those monthly bills, it's very easy to afford the travel. See, Lorna loved Thailand. I hope you do too. Okay, your daughter lived on very little there. She lived in hostels mainly, did a little work for them sometimes for a free room and board. Oh, you're so welcome, Blossom. Thank you for joining in and contributing to the live stream. Let's see, you stayed in a bungalow with geckos living on the walls and stealing. Very cheap. That's funny. Aren't those geckos like they're harmless? They're like little lizards. They have single bungalows that are very cheap for a month. It sounds like it's very easy to live there. You had a leopard gecko that ate pinkies? Oh, you're welcome, Lorna. Yeah, the geckos are cute. They're really cute. Let's see. Blossom, they show zero divides in your home and place for work, several properties nearby. Nothing. I was barred from all info like that quickly. Oh, you've got a free flight, credit card points, Airbnb about 500 a month, visas, food, motorcycle rental. You're planning on $5,000 for 4 months of travel. Oh, that sounds really reasonable. And the geckos eat all the bugs and spiders. It's a natural pet management. Oh, I need to get some of those then. I wonder if they'd survive here. Exactly. Like, it's good that you're exploring it there, and then you'll have to report back to us because I'm sure there are other targeted people that might be interested in doing what you're doing. Good point. Yes, you want to adhere to other countries' customs. A lot of them are very extringent on them, so research and look up. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Blossom. Uh, Research and look up the human trafficking statistics in the area as well. Yes, be very careful. Thank you, Blossom, for the jewels. Yeah, there were a couple of YouTube creators that were arrested in other countries after they were live streaming in places that they should not have been. So yeah, that's a good point in looking up the customs and the laws there. Because obviously Americans stick out like a sore thumb. Yeah, just be careful because they like to as somebody just said, the human trafficking and stuff like that. Hi, JJ. Good evening. We're going to be shutting down in about 6 minutes. Don't pat anybody on the head. It's probably best to not shake hands either. Remember to hit the thumbs up, guys. For anybody that did not hit the thumbs up already, if you can, that would be great. You can travel, and $6,000 a month it will keep you well. Yeah, report back to us and let us know because there are so many targeted people that would love to move. Pam says, I hope they all get crabs. Let's see, in Tanzania, they're very strict. and they don't want you videotaping them or taking pictures without permission. I think that's what I saw. You just check out their customs. So it's not only the laws, it's the customs of how people greet each other, how how if you stare, if you look at somebody in the eyes, how close you can stand next to another person. Okay, it's 8:55 p.m. there. They're stopping your internet today. Let's see. It's rude in Thai culture to display the bottom of your shoe at a person. So if you need to remove gum or some other debris, do it in a manner that you're not aiming the bottom of your shoe at people. That's interesting. There's 10 people using your internet and you're getting ready to shut it off anyway. Yeah, we're going to be shutting down the live stream. If there's anybody that has a YouTube channel that wants to post it, please do so. If for some reason you can't, because I'm not sure if the chat allows the URLs from everybody, you can email them to me. Let's see. I think if you leave Thailand after your passport time is up, you can go to a neighboring country and then go right back in. Although you, at some point, you will be questioned due to human trafficking or drug trafficking suspicions. Okay, that's interesting. Well, good night, Pamela. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining in the live stream tonight. Well, it sounds really interesting. So River Bluff, when do you take off? When do you leave? You'll have to give us updates, the next time you're in the live stream. You leave Thursday. Oh, good. Mercury turns direct then. Oh, your daughter was questioned at the border. It's a 25-hour flight. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you have some crossword puzzles and some good snacks. Your travel time, right. The creepy voice is getting loud now. That's because it's the end of the live stream. Creepy's getting all agitated because he can't agitate anybody anymore because we're going to be shutting down. Tanzania was terrible. Once you get there, it's so beautiful, she said. The flight is bad. 25-hour flight, that is long. Wow. Very long. Well, I'm sure you'll sleep part of it, eat part of it, watch movies, part of it, read a book, part of it. And fortunately, you probably won't be targeted on that flight, right? Mercury is turning direct on the day that River Bluff is flying out. So Yeah, it sounds really long. Okay, everybody. Joe, thank you for joining in tonight and being a moderator. And I'm gonna shut the live stream down. It's midnight. I'm gonna have to go check on my kitties. Yes, Mercury. Mercury is a planet. Okay, I'll just say Mercury is about communication. It's about travel. It's about not signing contracts when it's retrograde, or if you're required to check it 4 or 5 times. It's sort of like somebody wanted to do a real estate deal with me during Mercury retrograde, and they could not even get the correct spelling of my name. 4 times literally, I received a contract and it was not accurate, so there was no way I was going to sign it. So when it turns direct, it means that it was an apparent backward motion. And Mercury, when it's retrograde, involves everything with the letters RE. Like a lot of times, exes will return. People that you haven't spoken to in a long time will call you. Like my maid of honor called me the other day. I haven't spoken to her in months. um, you'll have to redo things. People renovate, rewire things, just like having to redo a lot of things during Mercury retrograde. And then what happens is when it turns direct, it means that the planet is starting to speed up. That all of those things you have to worry about beforehand, hopefully you've tied up the loose ends, that you can go forward. And again, Mercury involves twins, writing, reading, communications, air travel, um, signing contracts, real estate, doing things. If you're going to do something, you do it when it turns direct. Not especially if you're starting something new, you're starting a new business. You don't want to start a new business when it's retrograde. And that's why when TG filed their lawsuit, Mercury was retrograde, which is why they had to change a lot of things a couple of times. They made a lot of errors, like they spelled Karen Stewart's name wrong. So, if you're going to file a lawsuit, check with your local astrologer first. You might have a better chance of at least having it listened to, right? So yeah, you don't want to file a lawsuit during a Mercury retrograde, especially and Mars retrograde, which was at the same time as that lawsuit. So yes, have a very safe trip. Have a safe trip, everybody. Sleeping pills or or pod cookies all the way. That's so funny. That's so funny. Well, my birthday is in 3 days. We'll see what the perps are going to give me for a birthday present this year. Hopefully, it won't be flash grenades on the driveway. So, hi, FH. Let's see. Showed a pic of a large coronal hole in the sun. Not sure about the flare. My apologies. Yes, please. I'm looking forward to have a safe trip. Oh, it's definitely going to be better there than it is here. It'll definitely be better, and at least you'll have great food, and it won't cost as much money. So anyway, have a great night, everybody. I'm going to sign off the live stream. Have a safe trip. The people were super nice in Thailand. That's good to know. Well, I'm looking forward to the report. Yeah, it cannot be worse than the United States. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we'll see what happens. I'll report back what happens on my birthday. It's usually the day before my birthday that they wreak havoc. Thank you for the birthday wishes. So everybody have a good night. Sleep tight if you're going to sleep. I won't be sleeping for a while, but have a safe trip. Report back to us, and thank you, Joe, for moderating. And have a good night, everybody.